Welcome to the program. This is the first news bulletin on the Joy News channel. Let's get into the details. The Ghana Police Service has commenced a manhunt for 2 gunmen who allegedly shot and killed 2 off-duty policemen at East Trasacco in Accra yesterday. That is Thursday, May 2nd. In a post on its Facebook page on Thursday evening, the police said the shooting occurred around 6 p.m. Here are some excerpts from the post. The Ghana Police saying that the Ghana Police Service is on a manhunt for 2 gunmen who fatally shot 2 off-duty police officers sitting in front of their private residence at Block Factory, East Trasacco, Accra today. That was yesterday, Thursday, 2nd May 2024, at about 6 p.m. The gunmen did not take anything from the victims and sped off on a motorbike. An intelligence-led operation to get a suspect arrested is currently underway. In other stories, the intermittent power supply, popularly known as Doomsaw, is beginning to hit hard at the transport sector, and commercial bus drivers are feeling the pinch. Since its re-emergence, various sectors of the economy have felt the impact of the erratic power outages differently, depending on the sector's scale of reliance on the national grid for operations. In this episode of our Doomsaw Diaries, we put the spotlight on parts of the national capital of Accra and how the phenomenon is hitting the operations and pockets of commercial bus drivers who operate at dawn.
That is what happens on a normal day. Bus conductors shout the names of destinations on their route to attract passengers. Passengers they see and make eye contact with. These drivers may not be operating with electric cars, but they are feeling the impact of unstable provision of electricity. When the lights go off, as has been rampant in recent weeks, it changes the dynamics for these bus drivers and their conductors who operate before dawn. Due to the sheer darkness that has been induced by the erratic power cuts, the conductors who would ordinarily address potential passengers directly now resort to speaking into the wind, hoping to catch the ears of passengers. The conductors only shout out the names of the suburbs on their route with the hope that prospective passengers may be lurking in the dark. He got lucky as one prospective passenger suddenly appeared from the dark.
It's really affecting us because you can't even know whether
The erratic power situation is a real challenge. Because we are without power most of the time, I'm unable to even charge my phone. There's also the fear of being attacked by criminal elements in the neighborhood who would want to take advantage of the dark.
Kofi Ansah and his wife suddenly appeared from the dark. Kofi Ansah wasn't going to travel with his wife. He was only playing the role of a bodyguard by walking the wife to the roadside to catch a bus. When I approached him, he told me he doesn't want to take chances in the Doomsaw-induced darkness.
Yes, I followed my wife because of the Doomsaw situation. I couldn't have left her alone to walk in the dark to the roadside. What would I tell her family if she gets attacked? I moved here about a month ago, and the situation has been very bad. Authorities should try and fix it because it affects everyone.
The drivers are beginning to feel the impact in their pockets. A conductor with 5 years of experience operating from Ablekuma to La Paz. He explains how the erratic power cuts has made his role as conductor more laborious.
The Doomsaw situation makes it difficult for us to get passengers on the streets.
Has been operating for a decade and a half from the Ablekuma enclave to Accra Central. He couldn't hide his frustration.
The
The passengers are reluctant to step out at dawn because they want to avoid being attacked by armed robbers in the area. Prior to the erratic power supply situation, some of us step out very early and close by 4 a.m. But we can't do that any longer. There are days that we even get to Vineyard with a handful of passengers, and that directly affects the sales that we make.
The underlying reason why the passengers are shying away from boarding the bus at dawn is a precautionary move to avoid being attacked by criminal elements who are taking advantage of the sheer darkness, a Doomsaw-induced darkness.
Now, the Ghana Health Service has intensified efforts to tackle maternal mental health issues affecting the well-being of women during pregnancy, delivery, and the period of up to 1 year after delivery. Statistics over a 10-year period between 2003 and 2023 revealed a high prevalence of perinatal depression of up to 50% in Ghana. Now, 15% of the number is said to have presented with suicidal ideations recorded over the same period.
Is very common among pregnant women and nursing mothers. Deputy Director of Nurses for Obstetrics and Gynecology Department of the University of Ghana Medical Center, Dr. Vida, tells Joy News the significance of creating the awareness.
For maternal mental health, it's one of the areas that we usually observe pregnant women, and then especially in the postpartum period, that is the post-delivery period, we see a lot of pregnant women having this puerperal blues. And puerperal blues is something that usually occurs when all of a sudden you become a mother, all of a sudden you are seeing a baby which is very fragile and you are holding the baby. Some people have not held such babies before. So when they see the baby, at times it worries them, how am I going to care for this baby? And especially those who have no support at home, they don't have parental support or sibling support, and they are alone, and probably maybe their husbands are not around to support them. They go through this puerperal blues.
Lined list of events organized for the Mental Health Awareness Month.
So the Mental Health Authority has adopted the month of May to create awareness. Just as we have Malaria Day, we have HIV Day, Breast Cancer Day, Mental Health Authority too has adopted the whole month of May to create awareness, because we realize that stigma is one of the main challenges when it comes to mental health. And to be able to address it, we need to educate the people on what mental health and mental illnesses are. So we are doing that the whole of May. We actually started on 28th April. So the whole of April, from 28th April to 3rd May, is maternal mental health. So we are focusing on mothers, and that is why we are here at UGMC. So that is for the first week of May. The second week, we are doing school mental health. So we've selected some schools who will visit and give education and screen the students as voluntary. The third week, we will be doing specialist outreach clinic at the Eastern region. The fourth week, we are doing workplace mental health. So we have some selected organizations, we'll visit them, we'll educate them, we'll train them, we'll screen them.
Maternal mental health refers to the state of emotional and psychological well-being of the woman during pregnancy, delivery, and the period up to 1 year after delivery. Identified as a critical mediator between social adversity and poor infant growth, research shows reported absent routine antenatal and postnatal screening for maternal mental health disorders in Ghana. Coupled with the lack of awareness and stigma due to low formal healthcare seeking behavior among affected women, inadequate access to maternal mental health services, among others. Ghana's cases are above the globally reported 10% of suicidal ideation figures. To change this narrative, Ghana Health Service has been training nurse managers, public health nurses and midwives to adequately position them to tackle the menace. A psychiatrist with the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Francis Opong, tells Joy News, some women who present with maternal mental health conditions end up at prayer camps as society lives in a state of denial.
We only get severe cases where mothers are throwing their children away, not breastfeeding and taking proper care of them. Even that, it's about 1 to 2 out of 10 that will find their way to a healthcare facility for attention. On the basis of that, most people will believe that it is spiritual, and so they should end up in some spiritual health centers, which eventually worsens the situation.
The Ghana Health Service, through the implementation of its maternal mental health policy, is encouraging the general public to pay attention to mental health of pregnant women and new mothers, while advancing the knowledge of health workers to attend to such conditions. Ashanti Regional Director of Health Services, Dr. Emmanuel Kojo-Tinkran, underscores the importance of the policy.
Pregnancy itself is a very stressful condition because it's associated with a number of risks. So every pregnant woman is under stress, and sometimes it can become protracted, and if you are not careful, you may lose the woman, or the woman may progress into what we call full-blown psychiatric condition. So under the policy, we have to create awareness for people to know that during pregnancy, you may have some of this condition, and then prepare people's mind, the caregivers, and then the family, that they have to take a very good look at the pregnant woman and then the woman who has just delivered.
Meanwhile, the Ashanti Regional Mental Health Coordinator, Faustina Nyako, is calling for support from partners to reduce the burden of depression among pregnant women.
When someone is pregnant, they go through a lot of changes in the body, and it stresses them. So encourage them. Husbands should take good care of their wives, because 2 people who get pregnant, not 1. But we do a lot of things. When your wife is pregnant, it's not that you're going to look for another woman to satisfy you. Stay with the woman, encourage, and give what? Chop money to. And don't keep it for your girlfriends.
The Ghana Health Service has lined up a series of training workshops for its staff. From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohimi Interior reporting.
And now, in a bid to promote equal rights for women and girls, particularly those with disabilities, an NGO, Women in Need, has provided skills training, startup support and financial literacy programs for 31 persons. The project aims to equip women and girls with disabilities with essential skills that foster financial independence. Through life skills training and financial literacy programs, the beneficiaries are better prepared to manage the startup kit provided to them. There's more in this report.
Speaking after the training program, the Executive Director for Women in Need, Susie Akon, emphasized the organization's commitment to bridging gender equality gaps in the society. She stated that as part of promoting equal rights for women and girls with disabilities, financial literacy skills training plus startup activities have been initiated. Currently, 31 women are benefiting from these activities at Sopon in the Mfantsman municipality of the Central Region.
Most of these women have been trained in snail rearing, mushroom production, akokono production, grass cutter production, and what have you. Are here to give them the skills that they need to better manage these startup kits that we are giving them, so that they can make something out of it. We don't want to hand over the startup to them without the necessary skills to manage it. So they are receiving management skills on topics such as bookkeeping, basic bookkeeping, savings, budgeting, grooming, leadership skills, and what have you. All this is in a bid to help these women better manage the small businesses we are helping them to start.
The organization operates in 3 districts in the Central Region: Gomua West, Ejumako Enyanesiam, and Mfantsman municipality. The Gomoa West District Coordinating Director, Martin Chumesi, commended the efforts of women in need and their partners in empowering vulnerable individuals within the community.
I actually appreciate the work of PED and when women in need, they usually come out with very good social interventions with regards to startup case and then skill training, various logistics and equipment that they normally give to the people with disability, actually enable them to also have good time in terms of living.
District Social Welfare Officer for the Jumako Enyan Esiam District, Anis Mukhtari, lauded the initiative of empowering the vulnerable in the community.
Most of the girls and women who have partaken in this activity are now self-reliant and self-dependent when it comes to skills development and financial literacy. They know how to bookkeep, they know how to save, they know how to also impact their knowledge to other disabled girls and women in their communities. So it's been an impactful project by WIN, and we are very grateful for their support because government cannot do everything.
The project is a collaborative effort between women in need and their partners, including the Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana and the African Center for Human Rights and Sustainable Development.
In more stories, Director General of the National Lottery Authority, Samuel Aoki, has urged parents to refrain from imposing career choices on their children and instead guide them towards pursuing their interests. Speaking at the Accelerator Project Career and Mentorship Seminar hosted by Space for Life and Shell Ore Foundations, he emphasized the need for stakeholders to collaborate in bridging the gap between academic learning and the demands of the job market. Rejoice Temefa has more.
The Accelerator Project, with the slogan Building a Bold New World, is a triple sector initiative focused on empowering the younger population through STEM education, literacy improvement, and mentorship. It utilizes the synthetic literacy program to enhance reading skills and offers students from both public and private schools training in life skills and community development projects. The project, powered by the Specs for Life Foundation, Shell Ore Foundation, and KGL, seeks to solve the uncertainty and inability of the youth to make career choices, the high illiteracy rate that exists among the beneficiary communities, and the underexploited arena of STEM. Director General of the National Lottery, Samuel Aoki, has appealed to parents to assist in guiding their children's career decisions, underscoring the importance of parental support in nurturing young individuals to make informed and fulfilling choices about their future paths.
You get to a family and the parents insist that my child shouldn't necessarily be a doctor, my child should necessarily be a lawyer. The child may not have the interest in that area. And sometimes what the kids are used to or what you see them practicing, if you engage them further, that's what they have so much interest in. So I think it's a combination of the factors. And also the way we also look down on some of the professions. Look, all professionals can boast, but the teacher taught them all. But maybe somebody will look at the current circumstances of teachers worldwide, or let's say even in Africa, and say, I don't want my child to be a teacher. But that is the child, maybe for him or her, it will be a calling in that particular sector and how to get it done. So for me, I think that parents, the teachers must also help identify some of these things that the child shows so much interest in. I think with the current introduction of these STEM-related courses and all, the world is definitely giving you an announcement that it has made a shift into the future. And for whatever that we practice in learning in our curricula, we must be deliberate in helping these kids right from the bottom have this at the back of their mind, that this is what the future holds. And then we plan our curricula as well to factor these things into it. Again, on the stakeholders bit and how to make sure we get all of them into the whole space. There must be a brutally frank conversation with the stakeholders in the educational sector, the parents as well, on how we can get through it.
We can be anything. We can take journalism to wherever we want to take it.
Media personality Ohineyeri Giftianchi emphasizes the importance of motivating teachers to excel in their roles, particularly in guiding young individuals or students toward making informed career decisions.
Now we become very much individualistic, just me, myself, and I, my family, my husband, yeah. But that is why, again, I say that we need to be intentional and deliberate. We need to empower teachers. Teachers don't have to become teachers just because they don't have anything to do, but they have to become teachers because they believe in impacting and guarding the young ones to live their dreams. They need to be proud of their profession as teachers, love it, and understand that they play a pivotal role in shaping society. I respect every single teacher, and I tell my daughter's teacher that I'm struggling with just one child. I can imagine what they are doing with, the number of children they have in there. So it has to be a concerted effort from government to parents to community to teachers to whoever is involved. I believe in adding the guidance of confidence building and communicating and, championing their own causes, letting their parents understand, not just defy them and be arrogant and rebellious, but let them understand. So as we talk to the children, we talk to the parents as well to understand that we live in a different world now.
Some students shared highlights from the seminar.
And what I learned is how to be confident and how to learn your career. And for today, I learned that you should be confident in whatever you do. And my mentor for today is Nana Yere Gifty Auntie. And I wish I could talk to her, but maybe because of time she went somewhere. So, and I wish I could get some of her books, but maybe I can get one.
Well, for our final story in this bulletin, delving into the untold stories of Ghana's past, a new theatre production is exploring the complex history of the transatlantic slave trade and its impact on the country's cultural identity. The play Aoki, written by Gerald Nyako-Mensah, tells the untold stories of slave trade through music, dance, and drama. My colleague Jacqueline Ansomayeboa has more in this report.
Theatre enthusiasts are in for a treat as a new play, Aoki, is set to premiere on May 11, 2024. Written by Gerald Nyako-Mensah, this production tells the story of an anointed princess from Ghana who narrowly escapes capture by slave raiders as a baby during the Shea Butter Market Day in Salaga. The play follows her journey as she is rescued and adopted by a salt trader and explores the themes of resistance, identity, and cultural heritage. According to the playwright, Gerald Nyako-Mensah, Aoki tells a different untold story of the slave trade in Ghana.
The name Aoki actually it's from the Ewe Togo Benin dialect. It means share butter. So Aoki is a share butter seller. Now, the story is set in the colonial era and it's meant to be a series. This first part is the beginning. What we want to do with Aoki is to tell the other side of the story, the holistic view. There was trade going on even before the slave trade itself commenced. There was very vibrant trade going on between north and south of Ghana. There was salt moving up by canoe via the Volta River to the north to exchange for shea butter. This was going on. There was the cola nut economy, which was coming via Ashanti. Okay, so we want to show through Aoki how all this interplay. This first part shows the beginning, is the awakening. So we want to show how the resilience has roots way back. How people in Ghana already had deep knowledge of trade issues, international trade, and all of that.
He believes that theatre is a powerful tool of communication, and Ghana hasn't yet reached its peak in terms of theatrical productions.
I don't really think so that we've reached that peak point, you see, because theatre is one of the most powerful means of communication, telling the story in a way that the audience will understand. Because it is not just talking or reading. All the action and everything continues and combines together to tell the story. So what idea that wants to be shared is shared across faster. So we as a group, that is the Gene Fusion group, decided to take the line of going and using fusion as the key word to drive our, vision and aspiration.
What sets Ayokomi apart from other productions? Director Kobna Hager explains.
I think I love the fusion of contemporary with the tradition. This is what sets it apart. With my approach with it, we are trying to bring in mixed media, bring in aspects of media, bring in aspects of the traditional and then the contemporary as well. So you would see that when you even come to see this, so you would realize that there are a lot of cultural anomalies, which sort of works because we are talking about a period where tradition, religion, and all those things are fluid.
Ayokomi, which premieres on May 11th, is a must-see for anyone interested in Ghanaian history, culture, and theatre. For Joy News, I am Jacqueline Ansuma Yeboah.
And on that note, we end the AM News on the Joy News channel. There's more coming your way, starting with the news review. Don't go away.